Well, good afternoon. It is Wednesday on a short week because of a holiday, and I'm Rick Dancer. It's good to be with you today. Had a couple of things I just wanted to talk about. We have a show coming up tonight at 5:30 that you're not going to want to miss. Um, I've got a mother of a murder victim who's going to talk about the state prison system trying to do away with death row. And so she's going to be talking with us tonight. That's at 5:30, sponsored by Bucks Sanitary Service. The buck stops here. But for this, I kind of wanted to just tell you a little story. And kind of, I was watching a video this morning. I've been getting up in the morning and watching some YouTube videos. My business coach said, Rick, you need to start finding a way to get inspired in the morning before you get up and get going and moving into your day. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So I've been getting up and finding different people. I even looked up, I just Googled most inspirational videos on YouTube, and stuff pops up. And one of them I watched the other day was like a skateboard guy. It's funny how, people can have different skills and different talents and different things going on in their life than you do, but it's still all the basics of it all kind of interrelate. So I got this email, or in fact, I should sit here and see if I can find it. I know I can. Hold on. Let me find this for you. I'm not going to out this person because that would be really rude. But I got you guys know I got a tattoo yesterday on this arm. I'm getting my second sleeve done. And on that tattoo, somebody came on my, hi Victoria, somebody came on my Instagram page and wrote me a note, an email, or a little personal message. So fortunately, it was not plastered on a public forum or anything like that, but it was on my email. And somebody wrote about me getting a tattoo. Please, there are more important things going on in the world right now. Look beyond yourself, like maybe giving money to people that are struggling and hungry. And I was like, wow. And it really pissed me off. It really made me angry. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So this is the message I get. So then I wrote back to this person. I said, wow, talk about judgment. My tattoo is a trade and is done to help the artist and his business partner kick their business off the ground. That's what I do for a living. So no money traded, just helping someone I care about and his small business. Besides, it's really none of your damn business, is it? Uneducated comments like yours is what's wrong with the world right now. Next time you might ask before you judge, and feel free not to follow me. I'm fine with not sharing my life and positions with you and people like you who judge. And so I was kind of irritated. And then I came back today and I got a message from this same person, and they said, I apologize. I was judgmental. To which I wrote back, you made my day. Thank you. That's how the world should be able to operate, I think, is we should be able to ask questions first. The proper thing we should be doing is asking people, writing me saying, hey, not publicly, but here's what I think, blah, 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 blah. And then I could explain what I did and why I was doing it. But the cool thing is she recognized it and she apologized. And that did make my day. So one of the things I heard on this video this morning that kind of hit me, yeah, wasn't that, Victoria? It was super great that they apologized, because it really gave me a little bit of faith in humanity again. So the video I was watching this morning asked the question, what is something that truly turned your life around? What is something that really, a moment, and can you guys think of one in your life, like something that really made everything kind of shift and turn? And for me, I can go back to Portland Community College. I was fresh out of high school. I graduated from high school with a 1.67 grade point average. I majored in socialization and minored in education. And it took me 2 years in a community college to get my grades up to a point where I could get into a or private university. But that's what I had to do because I farted around in school. I didn't understand the value. I didn't understand my value. I didn't understand what I was going to do with my life. So I had no clue what I was going to do. I took a speech class because I needed a credit, and that's all I had. There was nothing else available. And when I was in high school, I had a speech class, and I took an F in that class because I was too afraid to get up in front of the class and give a speech on how to make a submarine sandwich. So when it came to college, to end up taking this class, I was scared shitless. I thought, oh my God, I can't do a speech class. What am I going to do? And so every time he'd go planning a speech or something, I would just mess up and not do very well. The teacher I had was a guy who used to write for the television series Bewitched. And so he was a really super cool name. His first name was Paul. I'm going to look him up somewhere because I want to find out who he was. But he kind of understands me. He kind of got who I am. And so one day he said, okay, we're going to do improv today. I want you to tell me a funny story of something that really happened to you. And we're going to start with Rick Dancer. So I got up there and just told this story about how I was taking a shower and I had this little bar of soap, just a little teeny bit of soap left on the rag, and I'm washing and all of a sudden it's gone, but I'm in a hurry. So I just dry myself off, run to school, and I'm walking around school and I feel like, what is that on my back? And I'm reaching back later in the day and I pull off this bar of soap that is stuck on my shoulder, on my back. Well, when I told the story, I really milked it for everything it was. I just made it bigger than life and fun and interesting and crazy. And the whole class was just like in hysterics and watching me and paying attention. And the teacher looked at me and he says, "Do you get it?" And I went, "What?" He says, "What are you?" I said, I think I'm a communicator. And he goes, "Okay, Rick, then go communicate." So what that man did for me was he saw who I am and what I was capable of doing, the things that I couldn't even see what I was capable of doing. And he turned my life around. He gave me focus. He gave me purpose. He gave me the ability to see something in myself that I couldn't see before. And now I have a business coach who she's asking me to go around to some of the people in my life who know me and asking them, what is it that I do that works? What is it that I do that, how does she put the question? What is it that you see in me that I do really well? And so I'm calling some of my really close personal friends and asking them this question. And I wonder if we shouldn't all be doing that, because I think you get stuck in something where you think this is who I am, or this is how I am, or this is what I am. And yet you really don't see what other people see in you, or the gifts or the specialness. Like if you were to sit down and go to about yourself, what is it that I'm special about? And what can I do? And so here I am, 60 years old, and I'm still learning about myself. And I find that to be the most exciting thing on the planet. See, when my business coach asked me one day, what makes you do the things that you do? We should all ask this. Yeah. Christy, I totally agree. Ask somebody, find 5 friends and ask them, not why are you special? I don't think that's the question. I think it has to be, what is it you see that I do really well? And then just leave it like that. And then write down their answers so that you see and don't engage them in terms of don't engage them in terms of putting words in their mouth or anything like that, or what you want to hear. And I think then you get this richness of what it is. So my business coach said to me, Rick, why do you do what you do? And I said, because I believe that everybody has a voice and deserves to use it. Holy crap, you're 60? Yeah, that's what I think. So I believe everybody has a voice and they should be able to use it, whether I agree with you or not. And that has guided my life for, God, probably 50 years. As a news anchor, that's what I did. When I ran for Secretary of State, that's what I did. And that is my whole being. So she says, why? And I'm like, God, I don't know why. I mean, don't you think that's a good thing? She goes, it doesn't matter what I think. It's why is that important to you? So I'm sitting there thinking, and I start to cry. And I have tears coming down my face. And I looked at her and I said, my dad never listened to me. I mean, he was a good man. We didn't see eye to eye, but he'd ask you what you thought, and I'd tell him, and then he'd go do exactly what he wanted to do anyway. So it was as if I had no voice. And I spent much of my life with him that way. And my coach looked at me and she said, so your father's dysfunction is what made the man you are today. And I go, yeah. So the curse in my life was actually a gift in my life. The thing that I didn't get, I now give. The thing that hampered me now drives me. But I think you have to know the difference. You have to have people in your life to help point that stuff out for you. I'm going to go back to that lady. When she wrote that note accusing me of just spending my money on a frivolous tattoo, without knowing everything that goes on with that, it just bugged the hell out of me. And so I responded in truth. I love that the curse is the gift. That's how I feel about my recovery. I agree 100%, Brandy. We don't want to mess up, but I think if we keep beating ourselves up because we mess up, then we miss the gift. We miss the magic moment. We miss that thing that makes us who we are. I think there's far too many people. Your wound has become your greatest strength. It really has. And I believe with everything in my heart that we are our own worst enemy. And so by asking people in my life, I've only had one response back because I've just kind of started doing this. And I wasn't going to bring that up to you guys, but I think that's a good thing for all of us to do, is to ask somebody, what is it that you do that you see me do that I do really well? And do you think you could get a bigger picture of yourself for that? You think all of a sudden you become more than you were before, or what you always were supposed to be? I wish I'd caught that tattoo statement. I think people miss what a tattoo means and what the service provides. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll get real personal. Yeah. For me, having tattoos is like a badass thing. It's like, don't fuck with me. And I don't do them in memory of people because I don't, that's not my thing. I'll just leave it at that. That's really not my thing. But I do things that are important to me. So let me show you. So on this new arm, that is the Cape Arago Lighthouse in Coos Bay. I'll show you the other one too. So I got it in here. And this is Three Finger Jack right there. Three Finger Jack is one of my favorite mountains because it's rugged, it's uncontrollable. It has, there has to be a story. I'm going to go find it about what it is and why I got that name. But I've always, when you get ready to go to Central Oregon from my area, you see that mountain and it just says something to me. So that had to be on there. The Cape Arago Lighthouse, when I was a reporter, one time a whale washed ashore right under that lighthouse. It's on an island. And I got to go out, and this is back in the day, and touch the whale as it was dying. And it always meant something to me. I don't know why. So a few years ago, the lighthouse on the island was returned back to the tribe who it belonged to. And I know some people in the tribe, and I'm not afraid to call in favors. And so I called my friend down there and I said, I know you guys are tearing down the bridge that leads to the island because it's a sacred place. I want to be the last guy to go with you over there with a video camera and tape the lighthouse and go in it. And just, would you do that for me? And Bob says, oh, come on over. So I took a friend of mine. We went over there, walked across the bridge for the last time, went into the lighthouse, walked around the island, and then got off the bridge. And then the next week, they tore it down so that you can't get out to the island because it's sacred. But now it's on my body. And so it's not in memory of the island. It's just an important landmark in the story of my life. And so the tattoos that I have are all part of the story of my life. I can go through and show you important places that are on there in memory of no person, but just kind of as me, like I am, is I want my life to tell a story. I want it to tell, to give hope and to show that sometimes really bad stuff happens and really hard stuff happens. But when those things happen, what are you going to do with them? Are you gonna ignore them, or are you going to make them part of the process of who you are? And people say to me all the time, God, you have some of the most unusual friends and people in your life, and all these weird things happening to you. And it's because I'm open to it. I'm hoping for it. I believe that, if you're going to have a good story, you have to bring in new characters into your life. What kind of story what good story is interesting if it doesn't have, heroes and bad things and all those things that make life really interesting? If nobody's going to watch a story of a life that has no challenge, that's not really living. And I think one thing I've learned from COVID-19 is I'm going to live. I'm going to live hard and loud and with purpose. I didn't come here to this place called life. Oh God, I'm trying to be really careful here. How do I say that? For me, it's not living when someone is controlling what I do. Um, oh, that's cool, Gina. My motorcycle accident resulted in an amputation of my leg, and I've met Gina before in real life. I would not change that. It changed my life, but for the better. The drunk driver that hit me, we are now really good friends. And then that becomes part of your life. So you can get angry about stuff, and you can get bitter, or you can get better, and you can make it part of your story and your existence. And I think that's what I'm trying to say about COVID-19 is like, I think that's what's troubling the most to me about this is I'm not willing to stop living. I'm not willing to um, stop hugging. Um, I have realized one of the problems for me with a mask is that I think I'm losing my hearing because I realize how much I really do read lips. And I'm watching people talk like this, and I can't hear what they're saying, and I don't know what they're saying. So when someone wants to say anybody who's not doing this or not doing that is a bad person, then I have a real problem with that. I, for one, am grateful to have met you and have been inspired by you. Bill, you're one of my good guy people too, because you always ask hard questions. That's what you do. What is it that I see that you do really well? You're not afraid to ask hard questions, and you get off on the answers. That's what makes it more fun, you know? So let's bring this thing full circle. So here's our assignment, if you choose to take it. What is it you see that I do really well? That's the question you ask 5 people in your life. And write it down because you don't not to remember it here because it'll just turn into vapor. Write it down, and then go look and see if there's some skill sets that you have there that you're not even aware of that you do. That's the magic. You know what I mean? I think. And then invite strange characters into your world. Carefully. I'm not careful. And my wife would be the first one to tell you that I kind of live pretty dangerously that way. Some of my best friends right now in my life have served time in prison, and I love them. Love them, love them, love them. There's so much more I could tell you. Here's my deal with a mask. I was in an abusive relationship, and one of his favorite things to do was to smother me with a pillow towel. And I hate anything covering my face, but man, do I get judged for not wanting to wear one? I don't share why. It's none of their business. Wow. So Tony, isn't that interesting? Because people will judge you, but not knowing the reason. That's crazy. So you want to hear a funny story? I think I can tell this. I'll keep it really discreet. But a friend of mine's daughter worked at a care facility where quite a few people died of COVID. And she was in the store and she had a mask on. And somebody came up and said, "Why are you wearing that mask? You don't need to wear that mask." And I guess the girl, ripped her a new one. But I said, no, here's what she should have done. Here's what I would have done. I totally would do this. I would have taken off the mask and got within 3 feet of this person. And then I'd lean in really close and say, I work at one of the nursing homes where, 10 people have died of COVID-19. So I was doing this to protect you. That is shut him up. and it kind of goes back to how we started this thing. We can't be judging people based on what we think. It's because we don't know people's stories. There's a bad echo going on. Oh, I don't know what that's from, Stacy. I'm sorry. I don't have my headphones on. I should have put them on. but I didn't put them on because I didn't want to get them out of the box so that I could hear it. But there usually is with this program, there's a little bit of an echo. And really bad, I'll tell you what, I'll find out. Hola. Hey, Carlos Eduardo. How are you? Let me see what we're talking about here. Hold on. I got to go find the hole. I'm feeling around down here. Hold on. This isn't as easy as it sounds. Okay, wait. Testing. One, two. Hello. No. Well, hearing it. All right. I'm not hearing it, but I'm going to take those off because it bugs me. It might just be your phone or something like that going in there. I am not hearing an echo. Okay. Oh, so bad. I love it. Sounds fine. Ha. Sounds great. Just sound different. Sounds fine in Hawaii. Oh, Wendy, rub it in. I was supposed to go to Hawaii in October. I better keep going. Okay, Stacy Lee. Yeah. We'll get the natives restless here. Yeah. One thing I can say about the people who follow me, these are rugged individualists. They don't go for the bullshit. I'm not hearing an echo. Okay, good. All right, so do your assignment. Go have a good day. Share this on a page if you want to. And then you guys tune in tonight because at 5:30, I'll put this on here, 5:30 tonight, I'm going to have a Buck Stops Here show. We're going to have a murder victim's mother on the show. Oregon is talking about getting rid of death row. Well, the guy who murdered her son is on death row, so he'd be possibly be put into the general population. That's not sitting well with her. And so she is going to fight that and talk to me and you about that. And it'll be heart-wrenching. It'll be gripping. It'll be interesting. Okay, so who asked? Oh, this is Lisa. Okay, Lisa, this is the new arm, okay? So there's the lighthouse. And then this is 3-finger jack. That's the new arm. This is the old arm. Yeah, Montana, a road, the North Bend Bridge, Haystack Rock, and Mount Washington right there. So this one's still going to be filled in more with a bunch of more stuff. Repeat the assignment. Ask 5 people, what is it you see I do really well? So I'll write it here. What is it you see me do that I do really well? So ask 5 people that question. Right there. So there you go. They're talking about what Kip Kinkle going where? Where did you say? Oh, here we go. They are talking about letting Kip Kinkle go. No, I don't think so. No, he will never go. But putting him in general population, people like that. And I don't think he's at the state pen. I think he's at a different jail, a prison. This is at the state pen in Salem. Thanks, Lisa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go enjoy your day. And I'll see you at 5:30 at my house. Don't come to my house. That would not be a good thing. There's a lot of you out there. And besides, some of you are just really odd. All right, see ya.